will bypass the countdown. I, Werner Herzog, welcome you to my cave of forgotten dreams. Dreams that I once had as a piglet, as a Werner Herzog. A Werner Herzog, they called me when I was just a young piglet. Hello, I am Steel Condor. I am a man who is also a pig, who is also named Werner Herzog. You, however, are a steel condor, a bird of prey with a wide wingspan, also made of an amalgamation of iron and carbon. A bird made of tempered steel, reinforced by the knowledge that you only exist in a temporal form, temporarily in this universe, as an iron, carbon, bird-like creature. Me, however, I suffer with the knowledge that I am a pig, but also a man with the ability to reason, the ability to contemplate and consider my circumstance, which is that I am a man who is also a pig and also a filmmaker. You, Steel Condor, are a filmmaker, one in yourself, also, in your own right. And that is your right to be a filmmaker, making films with pictures, moving the said pictures around the screen so that you can look at them in order, out of order, in any which way you like to edit films. This is how the story unfolds before our eyes and before our pig ears, our floppy, soft pig ears, and in front of our snouts, in front of our pig snouts. You don't have one? Well, I do. For I am a man who is also a pig, and you are a bird of prey. Perhaps if I were any smaller, you would want to consume me entirely, as perhaps a meal. Hello, Gender Fierce. Welcome to the show. We here at Aristotle Full Throttle welcome you on Monday, the beginning of the week. On some calendars, but some calendars start on Sunday, but you could start on Monday if it's like the Spanish calendar. But Sunday is actually the 7th day. It's the day of rest. Monday is the moon day, the first day. And then you go Tuesday, which is like, in Spanish it's Martes, which is Mars Day. Miércoles, which is Mercury, that's Wednesday. Thursday is huevos, that means eggs, I think. And then Friday is Viernes. Viernes, the day of Venus. She is being born before us from the ocean. I think we've done enough philosophical discussion, but Saturn Day is the last day. Saturn Day, the day for Saturn, and then Sunday, the biggest object in our solar system. Were it not for my pig snout. Hello everybody, welcome back to Aristotle Full Throttle. That's me. I'm Aristotle Full Throttle. I'm the guy who does the show every day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific Standard Time. But it's funny because, who else is gonna do it? Who else is gonna do it? Aristotle Full Throttle. Who else is good? That's the motto. That's the slogan of this show. That should be how I introduce the show every day. Hey, this is Aristotle Full Throttle. I host the show. My name is Aristotle. Who else is gonna do it? Take over, Jen. Hey, welcome, Ricky.
They call me
Ricky.
Buenas tardes, everything goes chick, chicky, boom, chick, chicky, boom.
Weird, I'm not hearing that in my earphones. I call these my earphones. Oh, Jen the Fierce, welcome, hello. Welcome to Jen the Fierce.
Jen. Jen. Jen.
Jen. Welcome, everybody. How was your weekend? Let me explain to you my weekend. I will talk to you about my weekend if you talk to me about your weekend. Looks like Better Call Saul is on Netflix now. Oh my god, I gotta catch up. I'm so behind on Better Call Saul. Come on, I hate that I have to hold and quit. Listen, Apple, I don't like that I have to hold down the Q button to quit Chrome. Listen, Chrome, because what happens is I hold it for too long and then I quit other programs that are underneath it. Cosmo!
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Cosmo!
Hello.
Cosmo! 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 I'm Cosmo! What do you say, Cosmo?
Hello.
I'm Cosmo!
I'm Cosmo! Hello, Cosmo. Welcome to the show. I'm looking for the way to audio devices. I'm not hearing this correctly. It's weird. I adjust my settings. Somebody touched my settings. Part of the show, here at Aristotle Full Throttle, is me just talking about how to make the show work. Which is true. Where's the output? Selected sources. I don't know why my monitor is... Oh, I know why. Hold on. Ah! AirPods. That's why. Hayden Dent! Welcome, Hayden Dent. I see you. Can you guys speak enchantment table? I cannot speak that language. I prefer Uranus to Venus. Hayden Dent! Thank you for that. It's true. There's a planet called... there was a committee that got together. They said, we got to name all these planets. We got to name all these planets with all these days of the week because we've decided that there are only 7 days of the week, even though every day is just a new day. Just ask POD. Every day is a new day. Thank God for every breath I take. That's what they say in the first song of one of their songs. I Can Fly. Remember nu metal? Nobody? That's fine. You should really forget it. Point is, they had to name all the planets. All what we think were 9, and now there's 8. They said, you know what? I think one should be called the Butthole. The Butthole Planet. And everybody got together and they said, this guy's onto something. Uranus. We're gonna call it Uranus. And then they did it. I'm trying to move my seat up. So, sorry Hayden, I went to the Transmutation College instead of Enchantment. Listen, you gotta transmute. Sometimes you're one thing and the next day you're another. That's how we transmute around here. We transportation. We there's a way to Uber through transmutation. Well,
hello, computer.
I'm just hanging out here. Let me tell you about my weekend. Have you booked bird names? Haha, they have the same way. You know, it's funny, there are bird... Nomenclature is one of my favorite things. Particularly binomial nomenclature they use for naming species, like Homo sapiens sapien. It's a fun thing. I'm sure Cosmo and I can probably talk about nomenclature all day, because we just like, maybe we like esoterica. But the funny thing about nomenclature is, they just will name anything. They named a moth that they found that has a yellow head. They named it like the Donald Trump Trumpicus, Aristicus. Hayden. Oh, look at that. So, if you hear anybody playing guitar and singing outside, that's not me. That's someone else outside playing guitar and singing. Maybe I'll go jam with them. Yes, nomenclature. What a funny thing. You know, when they were naming all the species, they were naming them based on their like physical characteristics, and this was before we had even the knowledge of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. They were like, hey, you know, we don't even know. This thing's got long fingers. We're gonna call these the long finger creatures, and these things have afros, and we're gonna call those the stottles. And then someone came along and they said Watson and Crick on like Long Island, New York. Watson and Crick, these two guys, they said, hey, this DNA, we should probably recategorize and rethink everything we've ever done ever, because DNA, it's a thing. And now they have to like move animals that they named and put in some categories all the way into other categories like the echidna and the platypus. Who knows what those things are? Nobody knows. You just throw them out. If it doesn't fit, throw it out. That's what I say. Well, I saw In the Heights, guys. So In the Heights. Lin-Manuel Miranda. Somebody called him Lin-Manuel. I'm like, manual? That sounds like an automatic manual transmission. Stop it. It's Lin-Manuel. Lin-Manuel Miranda. Speak Spanish. Come on, people. So I saw that movie, and it's particularly the chicken turtle. Hey, now you're just talking crazy. That's just crazy. Hayden Dent. Hey, Lion Kitty. You know, I'm gonna go on with my spiel, but first of all, I would like to say hello to Lion Kitty and everybody. It's Lion Kitty's it's his birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Lion Kitty. And you guys know something? Every Monday here at Aristotle Full Throttle, we introduce a brand new intro. And today, we've got a brand new intro for none other than
Thundercats!
On the moon, Thundercats are loose.
In case I have to kill you, I just wanted to say thanks. You made some pretty stupid choices since you've been in charge, but you're always trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know, it's an intro. And it's an intro for you, Lion Kitty. I would like to play that intro again, because every Monday here at Aristotle Full Throttle, if you watch the show, if you just hang out, if you say hi, if you're like our friends Steel Condor, Cosmo McBuds, and Hayden Dent, I see you too. I can see you from here. Every single Monday, we've got a brand new intro for a throttler out there, and everybody gets one. I mean, everybody will get one. You just watched the show today, and half of it was intros. And there's Raccoon Raiders. That's my mom's. Also, let's watch that again, because today's brand new debut intro is for none other than Lion Kitty.
Thundercats!
Thundercats are on the moon, Thundercats are loose.
In case I have to kill you, I just wanted to say thanks. You made some pretty stupid choices since you've been in charge, but you're always trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, the Holder face. I feel like that accurately encapsulates an aspect. And we contain multitudes of our friend Lion Kitty, Jake, out there. Thank you, Jake, for being a supporter of the channel. Thank you for being a friend. And happy birthday. I hope it's the happiest birthday you ever had. Until next year, when it's even happier. Thanks for being you. Yeah, it's a fun time. It's a fun time here at Aristotle Full Throttle. We celebrate the fans, we celebrate each other, and we have a good time. It's Mondays. It's Mondays. On Mondays, we do stuff like this.
Thundercats!
Thundercats are on the moon, Thundercats are loose.
In case I have to kill you, I just wanted to say thanks. You made some pretty stupid choices since you've been in charge, but you're always trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Holden face. That's my Holden face. So every time you show up here at Aristotle Full Throttle and say hi in the comments, you get your intro. You will get your intro. That is one thing. Also, you can request your intros. I just need to open up the stream manager and manage my stream correctly. So if you redeem your channel points, you can ask for certain intros. For instance, if you haven't seen this intro in a while, you know, we can show it. Who's been spoiling everything?
Kelly! All along. And I killed Sparky too.
Shout out to Killeen out there. Hope she's doing well. Interestingly enough, has not made her presence known since I created that intro. I don't know why, but I hope she's doing well. I hope she comes back and says hi. Fun stuff here at Aristotle though. So I saw In the Heights this weekend. Guys, did you go to the movies? I went to the movies. They spaced us apart. I'm vaccinated. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna take a step. I'm gonna take a walk on the wild side. They've opened up Los Angeles. Still gotta wear a mask inside, but you can take your mask off when you're eating. You don't have to like put the food inside your ears. That's what I was doing for the longest time. And I don't recommend it. It hurts, mostly. It mostly hurts. No nutrition value at all. No nutritional value at all. So we're sitting there watching the movie, and I'm like watching this movie by Lin-Manuel Miranda. And I go, hey, they're Dominicans, right? There's Dominicans in this movie, right? It's a movie that takes place in Washington Heights, Manhattan, right? Like all the way up there in Washington Heights. And they're singing about Dominican Republic and DR and Santo Domingo and Dominicans, right? I'm watching this movie that takes place in a Dominican neighborhood. And I'm looking for Dominicans mostly. I was like, where are there? I heard there were Dominicans. I heard that this movie had Dominican people in it. They're singing about it. They're singing and dancing about being Dominican. And I'm like, I could see a couple. I could see a couple of Dominican people in this movie. However, if you've never seen a Dominican, they look like this a little. They look mostly like this. Like this. And so I was watching that movie going, I've been to Manhattan, and I was having this discussion actually with somebody the other day, and they said there's plenty of representation in that movie. There's plenty of representation. Which I was like, okay, if you mean there's like mostly minorities in it, that's true. But I think the problem that I was having a little bit intellectually, the movie's great. The movie's fun. It's a good time. The songs are good. It's Lin-Manuel Miranda. It's great. It's, you know, he's a talented dude. It's not as good as Hamilton because he doubled down on Hamilton, and because this musical Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote before he wrote Hamilton, and he spent like 7 years on Hamilton, and I think he wrote In the Heights in like an afternoon. But it's good. I mean, the dude is so talented. He could write it in an afternoon, and it would be that good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I thought the people were diverse, right? You say diverse, and diverse casting and whatnot. But I'm like, I think the particular issue I had was that they're like specifically saying Dominican, which is a wide variety of faces. There are a lot of different Dominican faces in this world. However, the ones that look like this, when in that particular neighborhood in New York and also the Bronx, when you get up there, it gets more Dominican. So if you're singing about being Dominican and you're dancing about being Dominican and I have to like strain my eyes to see a face that looks similar to mine, I feel like I'm in a bizarro world. I feel like I'm in an alternate universe where it's like watching the movie Chinatown and not seeing any Asian people, or just watching the movie Chinatown, actually. That's what it would be like with Jack Nicholson. So it's just like a little bit strange. I hear someone has entered the chat, entered the Discord. Hello!
No
Welcome,
one's here.
Ricky.
No one's here.
Ricky.
No
one's
one's
here.
here.
You snuck up on me there.
Let's
What's
talk-
going on, Ricky? How was your weekend?
Let's talk about In the Heights. Oh my God.
Happy
Hold on,
Prime
wait
Day.
a minute.
Yeah, hold on. Wait. First of all,
Oh, Ricky, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Ricky! Ricky?
First
how
of
you
all,
doing, Ricky?
Prime Day. Them Amazon workers is over there making lemonade in bottles.
Yes, they are. They're making free lemonade if you guys want some at a discount.
It's not good.
In
the whites.
They're forced to be. Yeah, it is in the whites. They are forced to make that free lemonade, unfortunately. But yeah, I gotta say, Ricky, did you see In the Heights?
I did. Look at. My dad is from Panama. New York has the second highest population of Panamanians outside of Panama.
For real.
And what?
I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay, but did you hear what the director's like apology was? Basically, he said that it was a conversation and something he needed to be educated about, and then in the end he said, quote, tried to get the people who were best for those roles. If you're looking for someone who's best for the job, maybe you shouldn't be the one directing this movie. Maybe you're not best for this job.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what I say to that though? You know, there's a couple thoughts that just popped into my head for that, which was, when they're looking for people who are best for the part, why don't you just go to first of all, if you need to be educated as to what people look like in Washington Heights, why don't you go for a walk in Washington Heights and just take a look around? And also, that reminds me that Fisher Stevens, who happens to be a Caucasian man, played a South Asian man in the movie Short Circuit. In other words, he played an Indian man. Because apparently,
Indeed.
1 out of 1 billion Indians, there was nobody available for the role except for Fisher Stevens. He's like, listen, I'm going to step in. I know there are 1.2 billion Indians, but I think I can do it. I think I can do it.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm a little bit. I felt like I was watching an alternate universe of New York City.
Yeah.
Which was a little bit took me out of the movie, actually.
I mean, do you believe for like a minute that it wasn't a choice? That this just sort of happened on accident? As they sort of claim.
I looked at the people and I was like, oh, I get it. These are white friendly faces. Like it's not gonna be shocking. I think that was the discussion. They were like, who can we market to people that aren't so not white? Or not like white friendly. I don't even want to say, because the people, the one of the lead actresses, she's Dominican. And I'm sitting there with Kelsey, we're watching the movie, and I'm like, where the Dominican people at? And I'm like, she looked Dominican, but where else? I'm like, Zoe Saldana, she looked Dominican. Like she's not in the movie, but she happened to be Dominican. And I'm like, where is everybody? I'm watching, it feels like New York, it looks like New York, it sounds like New York, it is New York. I'm not gonna take that away from the movie, but it just was so strange to be like straining to see anybody who looked like they lived in that neighborhood. You see all of those faces in that neighborhood. You see all of those people in that neighborhood, which is awesome, but not in that proportion. So it's just it was a weird, strange feeling for me, and it was very surreal. I gotta say, I like the movie. I like the sounds. I like Hollywood musicals. I like the tradition of it. But
Anthony Ramos is a star.
Dude's great. Nailed it. Knocked it out of the park.
Wow.
But that's the thing. It's like, I like him because I like Hamilton so much. I'm like, you know what? He could do anything. Of course he could be the lead in The Heights because he's an OG. He's an OG Hamilton guy. So I can get behind that. Nothing, no harm, no foul on his part. I mean, he looks like he could be a Dominican guy, but I just think that the proportion is off. It's just like, wait a minute, I did not expect to not see the people that I would see in that neighborhood. So I don't know how else to phrase it.
Lin-Manuel Miranda managed to make a musical about all white people and somehow leave out slaves. Why can't he leave out Dominicans?
That's true.
2 for 2.
Yeah. It's like, let's not really talk too much about that slavery thing. Let's kind of put a nod. Hamilton has like 2 nods about ending slavery. And you're like, okay, that makes me feel better. But I can imagine if, like, because there's this whole idea of appropriation going on about Hamilton, which I can understand partially. I could say, some people are like, I feel like it's cultural appropriation because mostly rich white people can afford the tickets to go see Hamilton, which is, there's that wrinkle, and I understand that angle on that. But I've mentioned this, how I felt about Hamilton, because I just think it's a really great work of art, and I think that that those are the people who represent the United States and also that neighborhood. It's like the people from that part of the world today look like the cast of Hamilton. So when if you were a first grade class putting on a Revolutionary War play, the kids playing the parts would look like that in Washington Heights, in Manhattan today. So I think it's an interesting way to represent the United States. However, so this is the thing, Ricky.
Hold on, Ricky. What are you talking about?
I was having this conversation the other day. Now this all kind of wraps into one thing, and it was about Juneteenth. And I'm like, Juneteenth, cool, new holiday. What do we do? It's Juneteenth. Let's hang out. Let's. What's the tradition? And I was talking with somebody, and they said, I don't want to appropriate. And it struck me weird because I was like, it's a brand new American holiday. Can we not agree on a tradition for every American? And now we get into like a sticky area because now
it's interesting because Juneteenth is new to white Americans and others, but it is not necessarily new. Like we have traditions already. Everyone else is just catching up.
Exactly. And it's Juneteenth is the actual title of the holiday is the National Freedom Day or National Independence Day. National Independence Day. 4th of July is Independence Day, and Juneteenth is considered National Independence Day because obviously everybody living here was considered an American citizen that day. That's essentially because, slaves were slavery was, quote, officially ended. However, that's also sticky because it wasn't until like a few years ago that Alabama took it off the books, and it wasn't until like 1999 that Mississippi took it off of their books, or at least officially outlawed slavery. Like they took until 1999. What a party! And I can't. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? But that's the weird thing is like the appropriation thing. I feel like we need to come up with some rules of thumb, and I think I might have come up with a rule of thumb for people who feel like maybe they are appropriating on Juneteenth. Listen, first of all, it is the first nationally recognized federal holiday, Juneteenth. Like, it was just the other day was the first one ever. So if you want to go tweet that out, if you want to say happy Juneteenth, that's cool. Celebrate the victories. Say, yes, it's Juneteenth. Hooray, America. We're doing good. I think where people get flustered or confused, and I'm talking about white people who are confused about when and where to say things about what and whatnot. I think white-splaining injustices in systematic racism is maybe the time you should actually maybe not and just kind of listen. Just maybe like, I'll listen, I'll hear it out. But when there are victories, when there's like a, hey, cool, national federal holiday, awesome, happy Juneteenth, everybody, that's cool. That's a recognizing everybody. That's not a like, we need to really do better. We need to use our voices with each other. We need to do better. What is it that I can do? No, we don't need all that. Just
let me offer my white body.
Let me offer you my white body, and let. This is so.
Oh dear.
Folks at home, this is a perfect musical cue here. This is a perfect opportunity to celebrate the victories and maybe sit back and listen to the injustices. Maybe that's a good rule of thumb for people who are wondering. You don't have to explain Juneteenth to people. You can say Happy Juneteenth. You can say Happy Pride Month. Y'all say you're all celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Come on, we all Irish on that day, right? That's not appropriation. Well, it is, but it's like, you know what I mean? Everybody's sitting down on St. Patrick's Day. Everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Everybody, listen, it's much more loaded, Juneteenth. I get it, but it hurt me to hear them say, I don't want to appropriate. Because I said, but we're all Americans, and it feels like you're saying, I don't accept that part of America, or I will not participate in that part of America, or I will not, my fragility is crumbling at the idea that there was slavery in the first place, and it hurts me to acknowledge that it had to end 2 years after it was outlawed federally. You know, maybe there's like these layers to it for people, which I can understand fundamentally, but you know, get over it. Work on that. That's not my fault. That's not my, you know, Ricky, at the beginning of Black Lives Matter, and I say that officially last year because, you know, it's been going on for years and years. Did you have people call you and say, just, okay, now tell me a story. Tell me your experience. I'm here to listen.
God.
I would like to know what it's been like for you. I need to...
Why do I like hate it? Why do I hate that?
You know why? Because it's
know.
not your job or my job to explain that.
Really,
it's not.
I cannot sit here and explain the non-existent monolith of black people. I'm not about to explain to you, like, if I say something, I don't stand for everyone.
Right. I think I speak for all people of color when I say I don't speak for all people of color. It's just one of these complicated things, man. And I wondered when I was watching that movie. I just felt good about the movie. I liked the artful John Chu. He did the Step Up movies, I think. I actually was an extra in Step Up 3D, and I remember him from that. And he was so much fun. And I remember Michael Jackson had just died that summer when we were filming that scene. And he had all of these kids and extras who are like dance enthusiasts come out the audience and do all their best Michael Jackson moves, and it was between takes, between setups, and it was just the coolest thing because he was keeping the vibe alive, he was keeping the fun alive, and it felt like such a fun environment to be on. So I wondered what's going on with John Chu that he didn't and Lin-Manuel Miranda to drop that ball. Now you say your parents are, your dad's from Panama.
Yes, sir.
That's cool. Panama's dope.
Yeah, and I have like relatives that live in New York, also Panamanian on his side.
It's funny. Evan, the singer, Evan, not Evan Ball, but Evan Rodanich. Evan, singer of Cage 9, and his longtime girlfriend since they're 14 years old, Eva, Evan and Eva, the cutest names ever, the cutest couple ever. Evan, the singer and producer for Cage 9. Panamanian. They're from Panama. The American part. And until then they moved away in like 1999 or a few years after that when it was re-annexed by Panama. But yeah, I've met so many Panamanians in my travels with that band, and haven't had a chance to play Panama yet, but while we were on tour, the album that we were touring off of, get this guys, I just joined a band for that tour too, so I was just like happy to be there. But it was #1 in Panama. We were huge in Panama at that time. It was fun.
Hello.
Yeah, Panama.
And it's something like 75-80% of Panamanians are black. It's insane numbers.
It's just one of those
I've
things
never been, but I gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta go. You can drive there. Go. A man, a plan, a canal, Veda. That was actually. So that's one of my favorite palindromes. A man, a plan, a canal, Panama. It's a palindrome. Write it down.
Oh my
spell
god.
it backwards.
Oh my god.
That was like on our MySpace, my band Veda. We had like you could have like a little thing for a quote, you know, your header, your line, and it was a man, a plan, a canal, Veda. It was stupid and prophetic and also pathetic. Trying to push this button. The timing was off.
What?
Okay, all right. So how's streaming? I saw you out there streaming, shooting people.
In the white,
people.
streaming is good. You know, I probably got a few weeks left on Superman, and then I'm gonna become a professional streamer.
Nice, nice. It's fun, man. It's fun. It's a good time.
It is fun.
I watch a stream and it blows my hair back. There's so many things going on. I'm like, there's building, there's shooting, there's building, and then there's shooting. You see, the thing is, you know how to play the game, and you also play it effectively to the point at which you are victorious a lot of the time. I, however, I don't know anything. So when I'm watching that, I'm like, you're building things so quickly so as not to get shot. And then you're jumping outside of the thing and then shooting people and then the building and then not getting shot and then jumping and doing all the things. It's pretty impressive. I like it. I will keep watching.
Here's the interesting. I appreciate it.
And
here's the interesting thing for me with streaming is that a lot of like what you sort of perceive as like, at least in terms of like the gamer streamers, is that they're great. The ones that are the most popular are the most popular because they're incredible at the game. But like, I'm not that good, and I don't like wanna be.
Right.
I play the game for fun, and so it's just like I'll do something because it'll be funny or it'll be like more fun. But like I have no intention to like be cracked.
So that's my approach. However, you happen to be good, and I just die all the time.
Look, playing every day for the last 7 months will do that.
That might do the trick. I've played once a week.
I really want to do other stuff, but I don't.
What are the games you have to look at? I want to play. Wednesdays are usually good for me. Wednesday nights, I like to jump in the rounds, in the battle royales and whatnot.
I don't know what else. I kind of want to go back and play some story games, but I really don't know enough about like streaming in terms of like what's hot, other than looking at the top games on Twitch or whatever. But like I want to go back and play like God of War, go back and play Miles Morales.
Nice.
Do some non-competitive games.
Yeah, like story games. Yeah, for sure. That reminds me, I still am on like the first level of Luigi's Mansion or whatever. So I have to get back to playing that game. But yeah, I do like the fighting games though. Jen Fierce was talking about Red Dead Redemption, which Those games, I
Yeah.
remember playing Red Dead Revolver back in the day, which I freaking loved, and I've watched a lot of sort of demo or people playing Red Dead Redemption, and that looks like a lot of fun. Actually, that looks like a fun style. Of
There's
game.
the thing for me though is like, again, like I really don't play. I've been streaming for like a
You
couple
heard that,
months now.
everybody.
But
Ricky
like,
don't play.
I don't play. My favorite Prince
Really?
quote: "I cannot be played. Those who play me play themselves."
For real.
I just play for fun. So like, I started playing the new Ratchet and Clank game a couple days ago, and I was thinking about streaming it, but I'm just like, I just want to chill on the couch and play this by myself, and I have to talk.
Well, that's
So
fun.
I'm still walking this balance of like, I just sort of stream for fun as well. I'm not trying to like, I don't know, get good at it. Not get good at it, but like make it my thing. I just want to do it for fun, and I still want to enjoy this stuff. I don't want it. I'm trying to teeter on the line of having to make content out of everything. You know?
I think that's a good idea. But that's the fun part. The fun part for me for watching gamers is the engaging discussion. I know everybody gets something different out of it. A lot of people get the vicarious excitement of getting far in the game and doing really well at the game. But I remember years ago, this is maybe 7, 8, 9 years ago, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 1, 2, or 3, maybe it was tomorrow. But I was watching this video, and it was a gamer live streaming on YouTube Gaming and just hanging out with Claudio, the singer from Coheed and Cambria. And I was like, what? This is definitely mainstream if we've got like bands hanging out. Claudio, if you guys will Google, has a similar haircut. We go to the same hair person, which is probably not going to get your haircut ever. Hey, 420 artist. We're just talking about Claudio, the singer for Coheed and Cambria, and they're just sitting there hanging, talking about the new album or whatever. So it's kind of promoting, but it's also interesting. I'm listening to the discussion, listening to that's what's engaging. I think people like the show Hot Ones. People are open and expressive more when their mind is sort of engaged with something else, or like when their face is melting off from all of the spiciness that they're eating in Hot Ones. But if you're playing a game, you're sort of engaged in one way, so it's more of like this truth serum for other people. I know that some people get like super quiet because they're like focused, but I feel like I'm more prone to speaking my mind when I'm playing a game or melting my face off. Missed you too, 420 artist. 420 artist, what are you up to? How have you been?
Hello there.
Nice to see you. I'm a little slow on these
Oh, hell no. What's up, dog?
on these sound effects because it's been a couple weeks. This is my first official full week back from my trip. And guys, on Instagram, we've got the Black Lives Matter Sacramento fundraiser going on. Because, you know, Black Lives Matter. And we got to remember that. I do remember, so the whole thing we were talking about before about sort of explaining or having to be the person who explains, you know, injustices or our own experience to people instead of having people sort of do like the research and kind of do the work. But I feel like people will get lazy after a minute of trying to do the work. But I do have a TikTok. I have a TikTok or two about the white guilt phone call that we all got a week or two after the horrific event of George Floyd's murder. So like it was just because of it sparked the whole movement and everybody was talking and everybody was feeling horrible inside, and it was almost our duty, or at least it was put upon us, it was thrust upon us, brown and black people, to be the person to comfort the guilty feeling white people. And it was like,
explain your people.
It was like,
You there, monolith.
it was like getting phone calls being like, listen, I'm your friend, right? And I'm like, yeah, you're my friend. Are you upset because of the whole thing? And they'd be like, yeah, but I'm a good one, right? I'd be like, yeah, you're one of the good ones. Don't worry. Just
The fact that
worry.
you had to ask tells me you're a good one, for sure, definitely.
Exactly. It's really important. It's really important.
It's a trap.
But it's true. It's complicated. I had a falling out with a friend of mine last summer, and I talked about it on the air because it was almost like they were so angry with me that I wasn't making them, like, comforting them about, or like I wasn't explaining to them. It was like they had, quote, white guilt, and I was like, all right, well, I guess you got to deal with that then. And then they were just like, but absolve me, and I'm like, me? What am I gonna do? That's something. I guess you're dealing with that, huh? That seems like, all right. I guess that is. And then it was almost like they were saying, my white guilt is way worse than the feelings that you're having. It's just kind of like
Incredible.
It was, yeah. And it's kind of weird how minds get twisted that far, and it's because of the reckoning that's going on in some people's minds, not everybody's minds, but there's a reckoning going, wait a minute, this has been going on the whole time, and I haven't noticed it until now. I feel horrible about that. Please make me feel better about that. It's like, well, I guess you got to work that out then. I guess that's something you got to deal with. What's up, the Boxleitner brothers? The Boxleitner brothers here. I miss you guys so much. Come on the show. Come hang out.
Greetings, program.
Greetings, program. Who is your user? I believe the Boxleitner brothers user might be Lee Boxleitner right now. But welcome. I want to... Lee Boxleitner, by the way, big TikToker. Follow him on TikTok. Hilarious. Incredible. Also, speaking of, like, just educating people, just like, hey, this is why you're stupid. This is basically a beautiful, exquisite Lee and the Boxleitner brothers, fantastic filmmakers and actors and writers and creative folks that you just love to hang out with them, and you love to talk about movies, and you love to joke about anything and everything with them. And also, Lee, I miss our FaceTimes. We had very fun FaceTimes at the beginning of this whole thing. It was a nice daily event, and it was a tradition. But at the beginning of lockdown, and now that we're out and about, we're able to go around. Lee, come on over, come hang out. I'm gonna get a gigantic TV. It's gonna go right there. We're all gonna play some games on it, and with Ricky. Ricky.
Hold on, Ricky.
Can I?
What are you talking about?
Ricky?
Oh, it's Prime Day.
Boxleitner brothers.
It is.
Boxleitner brothers.
You are.
Come on. I gotta know you. You gotta know me.
Yes.
We gotta know each other.
You gotta meet Ricky. You guys gotta all hang out. What's up, 420 artists? How you doing? Yes, Boxleitner brothers. We got to go bowling again.
What's happening?
How's it going, 420 artists? How are you? Good. It's
I'm
been a
blessed
minute.
to be alive. You know how I feel.
How's your hair? Is it? I feel like we're competing at long distance right now with the hair.
We're
I just have
fluffy
not
as
cut.
always, you know.
Yeah, super fluffy. Super
It's,
fluffy.
Mine's really long now. It's gotten really long instead of just being fluffy like it was. Now it's doing this long thing.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. I like your look. You've got. If you guys don't
Thank
remember, I don't have an intro for you yet.
When we
420,
met,
but
me and him looked like the same. Our hair was like identical. I swear to God.
yeah, we're both like tall guys. Lee also a tall guy. Our friend Lee Boxleitner over here. So let me just tell you some stories about Lee, because he's a good friend. He was on set when I would arrive on set. We both of our jobs on set are to like basically stand next to the camera all day, because I would be the sound. I would not be the sound guy. I would be the set photographer. And it was funny because we both occupy the same altitude.
My camera.
Yeah, it's a good. We both occupy the same altitude, so there's lots of quipping that goes on all day with that, and it's so much fun. And one of the greatest things on going to work. Now, you guys, if you ever work on set, or if you ever go into work where it's like a long ass day, it's going to be a long day, and you know it's going to be a long day because that's just the nature of making movies, which is crazy. You're herding cats for 12 and a half hours a day. It was always this. Now, Lee, you might not know this, but it was always such a happy feeling I would get because Lee has got the greatest laugh. Lee, his laugh carries, and it is hearty, and it is billowing, and it is the greatest laugh. And when I heard that laugh coming from across the studio in the morning when I was walking onto set, I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a good day," and that's because of Lee. He brings that energy. Good to see you.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, it's great stuff. It's
And our mission is definitely about altitude and hair.
yeah, exactly. Yes, and 420 artists and I do have similar. Oh, you're not. We're all crying. This is.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a tall guy, but he's pretty tall.
This is true. This is very true.
Say that one more time again. 420.
I says I'm a tall man, but I have to tell you that you're pretty tall even to my standard.
We're all tall. Also, Ricky Elliott, also being the what are we? Height supremacists. That's right.
We're height supremacists.
We are. We're height bigots.
Listen, I use my height privilege sometimes. I accept it. Sometimes
I use mine all the time.
I have to recognize my height privilege. Sometimes I can be a bit of a height supremacist.
Put your black fist in the sky and yell, "Height power!"
Height power.
Good golly. We are irreverent here at Aristotle.
There's millions of Americans across the country that just can't reach the Kool-Aid in the aisle.
It's true.
They can't.
Oh my God! Wait, have you guys had to do this in grocery stores?
I have. I've had to get things for other people.
Yeah,
I was just going to ask you guys, does that make you feel, well, how does that make you feel? Because sometimes I feel like,
it feels like I can't wear red in a grocery store.
You ever tried to one of things and then say something to the effect of his, because I'm tall and black.
Ricky, when they see you, they go, "Are you actually Ralph? Are you Ralph?" Can you hand me that? How many Ralphs are there? Yeah, when I'm in the supermarket, we are all slaves to Ralph. There are many Ralphs. I ask you this question about Ralphs. It's called Ralphs with an S, but there's no apostrophe. It's just Ralphs. There's many Ralphs apparently, and also I've said this joke before, and I like this joke very much. Rafe Fiennes. Rafe Fiennes. Go Google Rafe Fiennes. His name is Ralph, ladies and gentlemen. He's been tricking us this whole time. Either his name is Ralph, or I get my groceries at Rafe's.
You remember when his brother played Michael Jackson in that TV movie?
I do.
That was sadness. I heard that.
I do.
You remember that? Remember these? Remember Barry?
Yeah.
I do.
No, all right. I know that sounds bad.
But yeah, it's good stuff. It's
flawless victory.
I do remember that when Joseph Fiennes. Is it Jose Fiennes? Because if it's Rafe,
it's Joseph.
I don't know. It's Joseph Fiennes. He played Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Now, Michael Jackson ended his career and his life white. But he did not start out that way. So it's interesting.
No.
That's interesting.
There was another bad joke to go with that, I'm sure.
Oh, there's always bad jokes. If you want to watch the Aristotle Full Throttle show, be ready and prepared for bad jokes. Because they are...
High power. Like in a Pepsi commercial.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine? I have like sympathy pains right now getting my hair caught on fire because Michael Jackson. Google it, guys.
God. When I saw that happen, I was like, I have to protect my hair.
You feel it.
Psychosomatic.
Yeah.
I feel that.
It was horrifying.
You've seen it, right? Like, have you guys seen the footage of Michael Jackson catching on fire? Anybody?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then putting him out with
the stairs wasn't enough.
The stairs were not enough. They caught him on fire. He got caught on fire because of, he's got products in his hair, and they are flammable. And he was spinning around, and his hair was his hair was like igniting even further because of the oxygen and the fuel and the heat.
It was like grease fired.
Yeah, it was.
I remember
it's like a.
He said the worst part about that whole thing was that he got a lifetime of Pepsi after that. That was the worst part of that whole debacle.
That is horrible.
I should have done Coke.
There were so many rhymes in the 80s about Michael Jackson and the sodas.
Yeah. But we wouldn't know about movies that I was talking about.
What was that, 420?
I said we wouldn't know about the 80s. We're not that old.
No, there's no way. I've read about it on NPR. I've looked in the history books. I've seen footage. I've seen ancient footage. I've seen hieroglyphs on the walls, and that's how I deciphered the 80s. I've only watched everything I know about the 80s. I learned from watching Back to the Future. I think that's all you need to know.
I don't know anything about MySpace either.
Great Scott. You know, the thing about Back to the Future is it's a perfect movie, except for gigawatts. I don't know a gigawatt. Like, yeah, nobody knows.
It's a unit of measurement invented by Jay-Z.
A gigawatt?
The gigawatt.
The gigawatt. That's, you know, Doc Brown was just invoking the future, the Jay-Z of the future, and he was saying 1.1021 gigawatts, and that's what makes
weird
it
flux. Weird flux, but okay.
It's got some weird flux going on.
You need a flux capacitor.
You see what I did?
Also, that is a great point. Except for this is a great wrinkle that the Box Lightning Brothers bring up. Also, there are no Halloween decorations anywhere on October 25th. You know what? That's true.
They were already banning that shit in cancel culture, you know.
You know, Halloween in the movies, and I don't know if this is a Los Angeles thing. I know that Lee and Sam grew up in the hereabouts, and I have a question. Now, the Box Lightning Brothers are horror filmmakers, big fans of Halloween. You guys should check out their Instagram and their YouTube and follow them on there because they've got some of the coolest little films, and we're working on one. We shot one scene from a film that they've written a year ago, right before lockdown. And the Box Lightning Brothers, big fans of horror films and Hollywood horror films.
I love horror.
And Halloween. I've got this question. You get in the movies like E.T. and all of these movies that take place at Halloween in the 80s, also the Karate Kid, you know, got all the skeleton kids. Everyone goes out at the same time. It's just everybody walking through the streets at the same time in full costume. Now, is that a Hollywood trope? Or, I ask, is this a real thing? Because when I lived in the Valley, when I lived not too far from where Ralph Macchio's Karate Kid was, and, you know, Reseda, the world famous Reseda with all of the karate dojos you can imagine, still there actually, a lot of them.
Yes, that's great.
It's nutty, and you go. All of the kids would come out at once. They would all come out, like there'd be one big group of like 50 kids, and your doorbell rings. It's like there's a smattering here and there, and then there's like 50 kids, and you just stand there handing out candy for about 5 minutes, and then it's done. I kind of noticed maybe it was just my neighborhood, or maybe that's how they do it here. I don't know. They live in an alternate timeline. I was just watching another movie like that too. Where everybody just went out walking through the streets on Halloween.
Well, I think it's because they have like a 2-hour window that they're allowed to trick or treat. So basically, they all just went up the second they'd allow it to start.
That's true. That's true. Is it a daylight thing? Parents trying to get out.
Yeah, they had
It's a riddle.
for a while.
For the record, this is my plan.
Oh wait,
The experts tell me it's a pyramid.
Okay, I feel like that was always all at once.
Now, see, I
Like,
gotta
less
follow
background
this horror
casting.
stuff because now you got me very interested. You know, I love horror, right? Dude.
Oh, you got to check out the Box Lightning Brothers. They have a sick and twisted mind, and it's hilarious and scary at the same time. I would describe their style their brand, if you will. I don't like to say brand, but their
There's a horror movie that was really grade B. Well, grade C maybe.
it's a little bit hard to hear you, 420. Are you on a phone? It sounds like you're inside of
my
a
earbuds. Maybe that's where's my earbuds things.
Ah, got you.
Let's see. Does that make it better?
That's much better. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody all at once. Interesting. Everything all of the time, guys. Cosmo McBuds recommended this. 420. You might really be into this. Also, Boxlighter Brothers. Bo Burnham just did a special, a lockdown special on Netflix. I watched that last week, and I watched it in parts. I watched the first 20 to 30 minutes. I was a little bit here and there. I was a little bit wishy-washy about it. And then I continued to watch it, and I was like, oh, and it started to like occur to me how good it was. I was like, this is actually one of the things that I hoped for last year. When I was like, oh, we're going on lockdown. This is going to be a crazy year. 2021 is going to give us some really good art, I think. And the fact that I was so compelled to watch each part of this special and then kept wondering, what is this guy going to do next? What is this guy going to do next? And watching him go further down the rabbit hole. I was impressed, man. Cosmo, thank you for that recommendation. I really enjoyed it. It was really funny. It gets really poignant. It gets pretty dark. And just watching it, I was thinking, given the limitations that he's given, and I'm sure he had some kind of help. But the sound of just the approach, the idea, the rawness of watching a creative process and also watching the creative result at the same time, and watching this guy kind of go down the spiral that we all went down last year, but also try to apply himself to the max. I look at this special that he filmed all alone in a room, basically, with left to his own devices, not unlike this show, but unlike this show in that it was hilarious. But like, I'm watching that going, this is like the best, like I felt like he delivered the best he could do in every part of that special, and I was like, respect. I don't think he half-assed anything in it. And even though it felt
whole-assed it all.
He whole-assed it. He whole-assed the special. And even though the aesthetic of it and the nature of it is a guy in his room trying to deal with a situation in the best way possible and try to create as much content, as it were, and really kind of navigate the zeitgeist in a way that is representative so representative of the modern feels, the modern vibe of what's going on. And I feel like it kind of captured a moment. It captures a moment, and I recommend it. Thank you, Cosmo McBuds, for recommending that. It is a funny-ass special, interesting. It's self-referential. The criticisms I had for it, he kind of he cuts you off on it. He preempts your criticism of the special while you're watching it. He's like, you're watching a white guy try to help the world with comedy. Like, you're watching, I really shouldn't. Nobody should do this. This is dumb. Also, so the fact that he is sincere, but also is cynical and self-referential. Except, here's one thing, guys. I want you all to go to my channel on YouTube and watch my reaction to Arrival and The Arrival. Watch my reaction. I'll drop the link in the Discord. If you guys want to join the Discord, remember, just subscribe on Twitch or whatnot. You know what? I'm going to drop the Discord link in the chat right now, so everybody watching right now can join the Discord.
So tell me the name of the film on Instagram I have to follow now. It was what box?
The Boxleitner Brothers, or Boxleitner Brothers, or Lee Boxleitner.
Okay.
Follow. What is Sam's? Here. This is the invite to the Discord. So for everybody.
Is that the one it's going to be?
BOXLEIT NER. So, watching that special, there's one thing that he does that I've already done. There's one thing that Bo Burnham does in that special that you can watch me do from like 4 years ago that I already did. I did it already. But maybe not as funny, but I did it already. So watch it till the end. But other than that, other than Bo Burnham stealing all of my ideas and I came up with the ideas for Star Wars and everything. So other than that one bit, I mean, I still liked the bit that he does because he does like a meta bit. And, it's good. It's good. Did you guys see it? Ricky, you saw it.
It's the Lee with no name. I got it.
The Lee with no name.
Yeah. What did I see?
Did you watch Bo Burnham's special?
I have not. Don't hate me.
It's okay. I'm just curious. I don't hate. No hate. I will draw no hate on my face and then put a flashlight on my face in the dark and then put that on Instagram. Because, there's a song by Bo Burnham on that special, which is called A White Woman's Instagram, and it's hilarious. That is something I recommend. So I'm going to drop this in there, Arrival. And then you can go watch Bo Burnham's special. Cosmo, I want you to watch this because I'm sure you... It's not as funny because I'm not as funny. So I did this years ago.
Now hang on. You're plenty funny.
Hold on, Ricky. What are you talking about?
Ricky?
Talking about you.
Impressive.
Thank you.
Most impressive.
I mean, we all tolerate the show. I'm kidding.
Yes, that's what I hope most is that you tolerate the show as more of a self-flagellistic experience for an hour. Like, just turn this on in the background, and hopefully your ears are bleeding by the end of the hour. What a day! What a day!
Go a long way.
The hour of power. What do you guys got going on now, Ricky? You working on Superman and Lois? You're finishing that up
right now. I'm doing some. There's nothing I'm better at. Like, if there was one thing I had to say I'm better than everyone at, it's doing eye visual effects. Man, you know when it's
eye visual effects. Now, let me share with the audience a really cool fact, if I may. Ricky, now you created an effect, an eye visual effect, for Superman and Lois, one of the episodes, I guess last week's episode of the week before, and all of the internets, all of the people creating thumbnails that are reviewing that episode or at least reacting to that episode, etc., are using that frame. They're using that still from a visual effects that you created.
They are indeed. Watching the reactions was great. Look at the nature of the situation is I do temp versions of it for like the edit and stuff, and rarely I will give up one of my temps to be a final, so it'll go to air. And that was one of them because it was like, one of the producers was like, this should be a freaking billboard on the side of a building on Sunset Boulevard. And like, they just went off for like 15-20 minutes about it. And I was like, this is great. Like, okay, I'll give it this one to them. Like,
yes,
I had a good feeling about it.
That's amazing.
But yeah, it was just like, it's fun. Like, sometimes, most of the time I'm just let loose. I do whatever I want. Usually get it on version 1. And it sets the tone for everything. So it's fun to see people react to it.
Isn't that funny how sometimes creativity is like that, where you get the vibe the first time around, and then you're trying to finish it, and it kind of takes away from the vibe. Sometimes when you do something initially, it all comes out at once, and then everything you do to try to improve it you get diminishing returns. Do you ever experience that? Yeah. I
mean, and that's why I've sort of like, I've enjoyed what I do as my job, because I have to do a version of every shot in every episode of every visual effect. And so like that shot that is on the air, I did it in 25 minutes. Like that's amazing. I got to work very fast, and I got to be very good in that very fast. And it's like, I love the challenge of that.
That's the constraints can breed creativity. And I like that.
I'm so thankful for it, like for working in the industry for that, because you work long enough by yourself and you just don't have deadlines, and then things never get done, and you talk to all your friends about all these projects you have that you want to finish. Not like I have one right now from 10 years ago, but I'm so thankful for deadlines.
Project. Yes.
Yeah.
Deadlines are the key sometimes. Because
I
sometimes
just
I
barely
definitely
met
feel
one
it.
myself.
What do you got going on 420? You just barely.
Well, I literally had an art project going out for that app I'm working on that wants to put out towels that doing some merchandising and stuff. And they wanted my artwork to be merchandised, and they want to do some stuff. So I had a deadline of like the 15th to get an proof, and I sent it out to the scan company, and I just barely got it back the night of the 15th. So I just barely met my deadline.
Yes, and
we love it.
It would have cost me the whole contract. It would have been terrible.
And it's good. Yeah, it's good to set goals. It's good to meet deadlines if you can. I mean, it's hard, but it does help. Constraints can breed creativity and quick thinking.
It does.
For the record, this is my plan.
It made me push my stuff. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't want to talk over.
No, it's all good. It's all good. We're glad to hear it. And what do you got going on 420 for the rest of today? What are you guys doing? I'm gonna probably go for a walk in the heat. Why not?
I probably am too, because I need some exercise. I just got myself a nice plant-based shake for my meal replacement. I'm on some medicine because I've been sick again. So I'm trying to go out and get some exercise and enjoy this beautiful sunny day in Boston.
Say hi to Beantown for me, and go get some friggin' Dunkin' Donuts.
Hey.
Is it muggy there? Boston can get muggy. You can get muggy.
Oh my God, it's terrible. It's 86 degrees out right now, and it's basically telling you not to go outside.
Yeah. Don't go outside or you might die, but have fun anyway.
Enjoy the day.
Enjoy the day. Well,
86
there you have
like
it.
94. How's that?
It's true. It's always hotter. Like, someone asked me the other day, because I got back from New York last week, and they were like, it's hot out. How are you going on a hike? And I was like, I was just in New York where it's humid. So this heat is really not as bad, actually.
You're loving it, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of going, oh yeah, I can get behind this. But today I am going to keep an eye on the sales on Prime Day, actually, because I want that TV. I want that 77 OLED. That's that LG. But you know what? The one that's on sale is like the Sony X1. And it's like a lot cheaper.
How much sale is it?
It's around 18, 19, and LG is only come down to about 29. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm willing.
That's still up there, you know.
The LG's just got superior. It's the height supremacist.
And it's been pretty cool
Stop
for a while.
all the downloading.
Sorry, say that one more time. Sorry,
that was great. You kidding me? That wasn't sorry. That was awesome. I still got a Z series Sony, and it's been awesome for a long time, but it was pretty expensive when it came out.
Gotcha. But that's the thing. I did take a look. I did the Pepsi challenge with the television sets, the LG and the Sony Bravia. Which Sony was it? Which one it was?
That's what I got.
But Ricky, you were correct. The OLED, the LG C10 is just got weight. It's nice. It's nice.
I will say, like, when you're going like top line, which like the CX, the LG one is sort of considered like Sony. Definitely, if you're looking for just like straight up picture quality power, it's Sony. But like LG, if you're trying to play games, if you're trying to do anything else ever than watch a movie, LG is more well-rounded.
I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. I think that just, you know, it's funny because I was looking at the TVs, the LG versus Sony, and then I was like, I guess I was saying certain words because then the guy was just like, you work in like visual effects or video or something? I was like, yeah. And he's like, I can tell. He's like, because the people who work in this are the people who can notice the difference between these two TVs. Or at least, you know, right off the bat are valuing what the LG brings to the table, which is just those true blacks. I believe I like the true blacks. Why gotta be true blacks is what I say.
That's a good question.
But I want the true blacks.
Can we be untrue?
And on that note,
untrue.
on that note, I'm going to I'm gonna wrap things up. I think we usually do an hour. We did well over an hour. This is nice to hang out. It's always good to hear from you, 420. I hope you feel better. I don't want you to.
Yes.
Yeah, love seeing you. Love hanging out. We got a jam on the show sometime again. Bring your guitar. It's time. I think it's time
I've got the Generation EXP here, so we can do some pretty cool stuff. The old Telly looking PV.
We got the ESP. Nice. We gonna jam on it. And everybody out there, good times as always. Let's hang. Check out. Let's hang IRL. I'm gonna get that TV probably by the end of the week. I keep saying that, but I've been waiting till mid-June specifically because that is when I looked at all the charts. The price drop for the TVs comes down mid-June, and that's when I want to go make sure that I.
So it's right there, man.
Yep. So we're right there in the middle of June. Hopefully,
by the way,
there's a price drop.
Birthday bash next month for me, so I'm just gonna let you know ahead of time that it's a big deal for me this month coming up. So I want you there to hang out for one of my show things.
Absolutely.
That'll be dope.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that for sure.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey. Everybody should come.
Everybody, 420 artists.
Call.
Remember to follow 420. Remember to follow I Am Still Condor. Remember to follow Cosmo McButts. Everybody here, creative creators, beautiful people, good people. Love to see everyone's work. Love to see the Boxlightners do what they do, and Steel Condor's making some moves right now. He's all over the TV. Go take a look. He's all over the streaming. 420's out there doing knocking things down, setting them up and knocking them down. You love to see it. You love to see support your friends and support your team. Well, it's been a good discussion. We covered it all. We covered in the whites. In the whites, we talked about height supremacy. This is about my criticism in the Heights is listen, guys, just if you're gonna be singing about being Dominican and how much you liked being in Little Dominican Republic and also how much you have a Dominican bodega in Washington Heights, maybe show off you more diverse Dominicans. maybe walk through the neighborhood and accurately represent what that neighborhood looks like, even though, according to one person I talked to, there's plenty of representation in the Heights, which is not, we're making, we got to figure out what's going on there with some thought processes.
We got to do better, is what he's saying, guys. We got to do better.
We got to do better. Also, here's a rule of thumb that I think I would like to try to disseminate throughout the show. I like to talk about issues like this. I happen to be an Afro-Caribbean dude, so I'm like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about that reality
topic.
also.
It's to talk about.
Yeah, it's my experience, and I would like to share it with you. And in my experience, being Dominican in New York City, you see people who look more like this than you would say maybe in the Heights. Which it's still a good movie, but they dropped the ball. We need to.
Yeah, they didn't represent the Dominican people I'm used to being around, and that everyone agree.
100%. So yeah, you've spent plenty of time in Upper Manhattan, or you were in the Hudson Valley, right? So you're you're above the Bronx and all that stuff. So you're hanging out in the Bronx.
I spent a lot of time in Brooklyn too, in the Bronx, and you get to know these communities very well. I mean, we go to the Bronx just to get food.
Exactly. But that's the thing. It's I shared an article in the Discord about the absence of Afro-Caribbean faces in Afro-Caribbean Latinos, because this is a very important thing to me, especially in my existence in Hollywood as doing acting. I see people casting calls and they say, we want Hispanic or Latino people. And then I apply to it knowing that they're not asking to see people who look like me. They're asking to see people who look more, say, Central American or Mexican or that type of Latino.
Like that's what they want.
Right. And then I say, well, if you go to the Bronx, if I go to the Bronx, people are going to be speaking Spanish. They're going to look at me and assume I speak Spanish. And it's just a weird difference in Hollywood versus New York City, and just the expectation in that article.
Was really like I supposed.
Right, and that's the one. That's why I shared that article, because it does really touch upon all of those kinds of feelings I had watching the movie In the Heights. It's a good movie. Hey, Uncle Ron. Right before we go, let's play Ron's intro right on the outro.
Here it is, my most likable song ever. Coca-Cola, lipstick ring, go dance all night, kiss me, just kiss me Nefertiti, lipstick, kiss me, lipstick ring, oh, that's the way you like it.
This is your most likable song ever?
Yeah.
People will love it.
People will love it. Well, I like to use this platform for, I don't know, raising awareness. Maybe? I don't know. We just like to hang out here and have a good time and talk about real things. So come hang out with me every day at noon, 5 days a week, and we will talk about the reals and the feels. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow at noon, Pacific Standard Time. Be here or don't. That's fine too. Do you, boo? Okay, bye.